Maya stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror, took a deep breath, and whispered, "Hello, my name is Maya. I am 23 years old." Her voice shook slightly. She had been living in Toronto for 6 months, but she still felt like a stranger in her own voice when speaking English. Every conversation at work was a struggle. Every phone call made her heart race. She was tired of nodding and smiling when she didn't understand. Tired of staying quiet during lunch breaks while her colleagues chatted and laughed together. That morning, she had missed an important meeting because she was too embarrassed to ask for directions to the conference room. Enough was enough. Maya decided she would learn to speak English confidently, even if she had to do it completely alone. Chapter 1: The Mirror Method. Maya's journey began with something she already owned: her bathroom mirror. She had read online that speaking to yourself was not crazy. It was actually one of the most effective ways to practice a language. The mirror became her first conversation partner. "Good morning, Maya," she said to her reflection while brushing her teeth. "How did you sleep last night?" She answered herself, "I slept well, thank you. I had a strange dream about flying elephants." At first, she felt silly talking to herself, but gradually, she realized something important was happening. When she spoke to the mirror, there was no pressure, no judgment, no fear of making mistakes. She could take her time, repeat sentences, and experiment with different ways of saying the same thing. Maya created a morning routine. Every day while getting ready for work, she would have a 5-minute conversation with herself. She talked about her plans for the day, described what she was wearing, or shared her feelings about the weather. "Today, I'm wearing my blue dress because it makes me feel confident," she told her reflection one Tuesday morning. "I hope my presentation goes well. I practiced it 10 times last night." The mirror method taught her something valuable. Speaking English alone was not about having perfect grammar or pronunciation. It was about building the habit of thinking in English and expressing thoughts freely. Chapter 2: Narrating Life. After 2 weeks of mirror conversations, Maya discovered her second technique by accident. She was cooking dinner one evening, feeling frustrated about a difficult day at work, when she started talking to herself while chopping vegetables. "I'm cutting onions now, and they're making me cry. Just like my boss made me cry today when he spoke so fast during the meeting." She paused and realized she had just spent 5 minutes describing her cooking process in English without thinking about it. This gave her an idea. Maya began narrating her daily activities like she was the host of her own cooking show, travel program, or documentary. "While cleaning her apartment, now I'm dusting the bookshelf. These books are very dusty because I haven't read them in months. I should read more English books to improve my vocabulary. While grocery shopping, I need to buy milk, bread, and apples. The apples look fresh today. The red ones are more expensive than the green ones, but they're probably sweeter. While commuting on the subway, the train is very crowded today. There's a man reading a newspaper, a woman listening to music, and a child playing games on his phone. Everyone looks tired." This narration technique helped Maya in unexpected ways. She learned practical vocabulary for everyday situations. She also discovered that describing simple actions helped her think more naturally in English. Instead of translating from her native language, she began to think directly in English about what she was doing. Chapter 3: The Phone Conversation Challenge. 3 weeks into her solo English journey, Maya faced a new challenge. She realized she was comfortable talking to herself, but she still panicked during real conversations. She needed to practice interactive speaking, the kind where someone might ask unexpected questions or change the topic suddenly. Maya created an imaginary friend named Alex. Alex was patient, encouraging, and never judged her mistakes. More importantly, Alex asked questions that forced Maya to think quickly and respond naturally. She would sit in her living room with 2 chairs facing each other. In one chair, she was Maya, and the other chair was Alex. She would have complete conversations, switching between the 2 roles. "Hi Maya, how was your weekend?" Alex's voice, slightly different tone. "Oh, hi Alex. My weekend was good, thank you. I went to the park and fed the ducks. The weather was beautiful." Maya's regular voice, "That sounds lovely. Did you go alone or with friends?" "I went alone, but I didn't feel lonely. I brought a book and read under a tree after feeding the ducks." These imaginary conversations became more complex over time. Alex would ask follow-up questions, disagree with Maya's opinions, or introduce completely new topics. Maya learned to think on her feet, to ask clarifying questions, and to keep conversations flowing naturally. Sometimes she would record these conversations on her phone and listen to them later. She was surprised to hear how much her fluency had improved. Her sentences were becoming longer, her pauses shorter, and her confidence stronger. Chapter 4. The Emotional Breakthrough. 1 month into her practice, something unexpected happened. Maya was having a particularly difficult day. Her boss had criticized her work, she had missed her bus, and she felt homesick. Instead of crying silently, as she usually did, she started talking to herself in English about her feelings. "I feel so frustrated today," she said aloud in her empty apartment. "Everything went wrong. I feel like I'm not good enough for this job, not smart enough for this country. Sometimes I wonder if I made a mistake coming here." As she continued talking, something shifted. Speaking about her emotions in English made them feel less overwhelming. She realized that when she expressed her feelings in English, she could examine them more objectively, like she was talking about someone else's problems. "But wait," she continued, "I have improved a lot since I arrived. 6 months ago, I couldn't even order coffee without feeling nervous. Now I can have full conversations with myself. I can describe my feelings, my dreams, my fears." That's actually amazing progress. Maya discovered that emotional expression was a crucial part of language learning. When she could talk about her feelings, fears, and dreams in English, the language became truly hers. It wasn't just a tool for work or school. It was a way to understand herself. She started dedicating time each evening to emotional conversations with herself. She would talk about her day, her goals, her memories from home, and her hopes for the future. These sessions were like therapy, but they were also intensive language practice. Chapter 5. Building Complexity. After 6 weeks of daily practice, Maya noticed she was ready for more complex challenges. Her vocabulary had grown, her confidence had increased, and she was thinking in English more naturally. But she wanted to push herself further. She began giving herself presentation challenges. Every Sunday, she would choose a topic and prepare a 10-minute presentation to deliver to her imaginary audience. Topics ranged from serious, the benefits of learning languages as an adult, to silly, Why Cats Are Better Than Dogs. 2. Personal, my biggest dream and how I plan to achieve it. These presentations taught her to organize her thoughts logically, use transition words effectively, and speak for extended periods without losing focus. She learned to introduce topics, provide examples, and conclude with strong endings. Maya also started debating with herself. She would choose controversial topics and argue both sides. This exercise was particularly valuable because it forced her to use persuasive language, consider different perspectives, and respond to opposing arguments. I believe that social media is harmful to society. She would argue from one position. Then she would switch sides. However, social media also connects people across the globe and provides platforms for important social movements. These debates improved her critical thinking in English and taught her to express complex ideas clearly. Chapter 6. The Real-World Test. 2 months after starting her solo English journey, Maya faced her first real test. Her company was hosting an international conference, and she was asked to give a presentation to clients from different countries. The old Maya would have been terrified. The new Maya felt nervous but excited. The night before the presentation, she practiced one final time in front of her mirror. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share our latest project with you. Her voice was steady, her words clear. The next day, Maya walked into the conference room with confidence she had built through countless solo conversations. When she began speaking, she felt like she was talking to Alex, her imaginary friend, or her reflection in the mirror. The audience became less intimidating because she had already practiced speaking to herself thousands of times. The presentation was a success. Colleagues complimented her clear communication and confident delivery. More importantly, Maya realized that all those hours of talking to herself had not been wasted time. They had been an investment in her future. Chapter 7. The Ongoing Journey. Maya's story didn't end with one successful presentation. Speaking English alone had become a daily habit. As natural as brushing her teeth or checking her email, she continued to discover new ways to challenge herself. She started recording voice journals on her phone during walks, describing everything she saw and felt. She began reading books aloud to practice pronunciation and intonation. She even started singing English songs, which helped her with rhythm and stress patterns. Most importantly, Maya learned that speaking English alone was not a temporary solution until she found conversation partners. It was a valuable skill in itself. Even after she began making friends and joining conversation groups, she continued her solo practice because it gave her a safe space to experiment, make mistakes, and build confidence. Epilogue. Maya's advice. 6 months after starting her journey, Maya had become the person she had dreamed of being. She spoke confidently at work, made friends easily, and even started helping other newcomers with their English. When people asked for her advice, Maya always emphasized the same points. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect conversation partner. Your voice is the best tool you have. Start talking to yourself today. Describe your breakfast, narrate your commute, debate with your reflection. It might feel strange at first, but I promise you it works. Maya had discovered something that many language learners never realize. The most important conversation you'll ever have in English is the one you have with yourself. When you can speak to yourself freely, honestly, and confidently, you can speak to anyone. Her journey proved that learning to speak English alone was not just possible, it was powerful. In her empty apartment, talking to mirrors and imaginary friends, Maya had found her voice. And once she found it, no one could take it away. The mirror in her bathroom still reflected the same face, but the person looking back was completely different. She was someone who could express her thoughts, share her feelings, and communicate her dreams in English. She was someone who had learned that the most important audience for her English was herself. Maya's story continues every day, one solo conversation at a time. Remember this: every expert was once a beginner. Every confident English speaker once made the same mistakes you're making now. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not talent, it's practice. Your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. Your accent doesn't have to disappear to be understood. Your grammar doesn't have to be flawless to communicate effectively. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Maya found her voice by talking to herself. Now it's time for you to find yours. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself. And remember, your English journey is just beginning.